to the point that 17-year-old me had heard guitars. I had never heard a guitar make sounds like that when I first heard this song. It was pretty cool.
It's unreal. And another thing I forgot to mention when asking like what's a perfect album for me is like sometimes you don't know what song you're in. So I kind of love that this almost feels like 3 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. There's a podcaster named Cole Kuchna who does the Dissect podcast, and he also did a few episodes on like why Radiohead is Radiohead. And this song is one of the ones he sort of highlights the fact that, yeah, it is essentially like 3 different songs in one. And I think actually when they were writing songs, it was, or at the very least, it was 2 that they smushed together. It might have been 3 that they smushed together. So
because I think Johnny wrote the Rain Down passage, right? And then somebody else, the other guys kind of took more songwriting responsibility in the first 2/3.
Possibly. I know this does. I mean, everyone features on this. Like this is a Radiohead track where everyone gets a moment to sort of like spotlight.
Colin's doing his work. Proud of him. Why is it the standout to you, Michael? Like what's the secret sauce?
It is the album. It's the entire album in one song.
Oh, there you go.
It's just that's that. To quote the great Philip Seymour Hoffman in Paul Thomas Anderson's classic movie Punch Drunk Love, that's that.
God rest him. You, Brian, I will add 8,000 points for that's that from Michael's take to your case. So he's helping you out.
Awesome, perfect.
You're welcome, Brian. All right, Brian. We got another big surprise. Unlike the album, which claims there will be no surprises, we got one for you.
Boo!
Yeah, I know. So Tyler and I were thinking, since this is the first time that we are covering an artist again, that maybe whenever we repeat coverage of an artist, we need to put our guests through not a ringer, but like, like a gentle ringer, like that ringer that used to exist on Double Dare on Nickelodeon when they put them through it. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like the swimsuit ringer at the gym. It seems like it's mostly just spinning. It's not really squeezing. This is just spinning.
Okay. Am I about to get slime time lived on this podcast?
God, I wish.
If only, man.
This one goes to 11 live. We'll definitely have slime.
I don't know. I watched the Nickelodeon documentary on Hulu, and I don't think we want the slime. The slime was gross. Like, I mean, it was like legitimately gross.
Oh,
like
man.
It smelled bad and everything. Yeah.
There's a peek behind the curtain.
We are starting a new segment, which I think we will carry forward anytime we have a repeat artist, and it is called Best Out of 11 Trivia. So, Brian, your task, should you choose to accept it, is we got 11 trivia questions for you about Radiohead and OK Computer. And in order to win, because as you know, this podcast is all about winning, you must get the best out of 11, which I guess would be 6. I feel like you're going to do just fine with this.
I think you will too.
So,
okay. All right.
You accept the challenge?
I do. I think I'm going to get exposed, but yeah, let's do it.
I think based on some things that you've said already, I think some of these questions have actually already come up in this episode. So,
great.
So you're going to be doing just fine. No help from you, Tyler, even though you might know all these.
I'm zipped over here. I'm
all right.
I'm fully zipped. Yep.
Dear listeners, you can play along at home. Just, pause like after I ask the question and then just wait and see if you got it right. All right, here we go. Question number 1. What is the name of the 1998 documentary film that follows the band during their OK Computer tour?
Meeting People is Easy.
Ding, ding, ding.
Check.
Awesome.
Check.
First one correct.
1 point down.
Question number 2. What was the first song recorded for the album?
Ooh. I think I read Lucky.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That's correct.
Ding, ding, ding.
It was recorded for some like charity compilation or something, like a couple years, like in 1995 or something like that.
Coordinated by one Brian Eno.
Exactly. Question number 3. Which music video, directed by Jonathan Glazer, features a man being chased by a car down a dark road with Tom York singing from the blood red back seat?
Man, I I know which ones it's not. I'm going to say Karma Police. That sounds like Karma Police.
That is correct.
Ding, 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 ding. Look at you.
You're doing better than you thought.
Let's go.
Okay, this one might be a bit of a curveball. Well, maybe not. Which member of the band wrote the album's closer, The Tourist?
I'm going to guess Colin.
Oh, I'm sorry. Incorrect. It's your favorite. It's Johnny Greenwood. He wrote. I guess Tom York didn't play much of a role in writing that one or something like that. Okay, you still got 3. You're still on track.
Yeah, you're doing
here.
great. You're doing great.
You're on track. Okay. Which movie first featured exit music for a film playing over the end credits, even though the song did not appear on the soundtrack?
Romeo and Juliet.
That is correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right. Next question.
You already got 4 points, by the way. You're doing great.
Yeah, you need 2 more to get best out of 11.
2 more to win.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll still do all 11 questions because I wrote them and I want us to do them all. Yeah. All right. Which song, originally titled Uptight, was inspired by Miles Davis's Bitches Brew and was notoriously difficult for the band to play live?
Subterranean Homesick Alien.
That's correct. 1 more to win.
Let's go, baby. You got it. You got it.
Yeah, you can do this. Where does the album title come from?
Ooh. I did read this earlier, but I can't. Is it from the Bitches Brew, Miles Davis album?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That's incorrect.
Whoa.
Tyler, you know it, Tyler. What is it?
Are we talking? Is it Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
It is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Then the paranoid android being Marvin, the paranoid android from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. All right. You're still well in the running, though.
Yeah.
You're still well in the running.
Got 4 more questions, and you only have to get 1 of them.
Yeah, 1 more. You got this.
The band first started playing songs from the album on tour when they were opening for which pop artist?
I really don't know, so I'm going to say Smash Mouth as a joke. But
you know what? We appreciate it.
I do appreciate that.
Tyler, do you know?
It was Alanis, wasn't it?
Alanis Morissette, yep.
One Miss Alanis Morissette.
And friend of the pod, Meg Williams, that's when she saw Radiohead, when they were opening for Alanis Morissette.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's like
Hi, Meg.
Hi, Meg. That's like a 90s like perfect concert in some ways.
Yeah, I think I'd probably spontaneously combust.
All right, 3 more.
3 more.
I feel like this one will be the one you'll get.
Okay.
The band cited 2 Beatles songs, Sexy Sadie and Happiness is a Warm Gun, as direct influences on the album. Which Beatles album features both of these songs?
It's Revolver, right?
Incorrect. Oh, I actually was going to say Revolver too, so no shame there. What is it?
It's the White Album.
Is it the White Album? Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Okay.
All right, 2 more. You got this.
All right. Finish this lyric.
Ooh, okay.
You ready? Fitter, happier, more productive, comfortable, not drinking too much, regular exercise at the gym, 3 days a week.
Getting along with your associate contemporaries.
Should we give it to him, Tyler? It's
pretty
close. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
You get it.
What was it? What was it properly? Ding, 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 ding. What was it properly then?
Getting on better with your assssociate employee contemporaries.
Your associate employee contemporaries.
I think we'll give it to you.
I'm giving it to you. That means, okay, let's ask the last question before we officially announce him as the inaugural champion of Best Out of 11.
Okay, I think this one might be the hardest question of them all, actually.
Okay.
When making the artwork for the album, Stanley Donwood was inspired by the possibilities of the internet. The layering of images and scratched out text in the artwork was the result of his refusal to use a particular key, and I'm putting the word key in quotes, on the computer keyboard, because he believed that in reality, the option provided by this key does not exist. What is that key?
Space.
Oh, that's a good guess.
That is a really good guess. I don't know what it is either.
No, and that's why I put key in quote. This one's hard. Because he referred to it as the undo key.
The undo key, like backspace.
No, I think like maybe sort of like delete, but like I don't know. Are British keyboards different? I don't think they're different. Are they?
I think it was probably the 90s keyboards were different.
They might have had an undo on that.
Yeah, that's possible.
So I'm not even going to give you a want for that last one because you win, Brian.
Yeah,
you win.
All right. Yes,
that is 6 out of 11, and you did a damn fine job.
Cut it close, but we pulled through.
It's the drama. We all love drama here. We're all in a good theater. So we could go on for many hours about this, but I do think it's time to go to the board and see how you did. See how your case fares before this tribunal, Brian. So all of those 6 points that you got for best out of 11 added right to your score. Well done. And then I'm gonna roll it back. We're gonna see the points you received. 8,000 points for Michael's reference to Philip Seymour Hoffman's "That's That" from underrated Paul Thomas Anderson film Punch Drunk Love. One of my favorites, really. 60,000 points for watching the Beatles doc under the influence of food poisoning. Bless you. I'm going to give you an additional 20,000 points for bringing to me and Michael's attention this OK Lady album, which neither of us knew, that I'm promptly going to listen to right after we're done here. I gave you 1,000,000 points for A Job That Slowly Kills You being the line from No Surprises that stuck with you. And also sending your coworkers fitter happier when they try to convince you to get a desk treadmill.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's really good. It's a pro move. 10,000 points for Airbag being the intersection of Lizzo and Tom York. Well said. 6,000 points for OK Computer being like entering a negotiation. Okay, computer, let's get into this. That's what we're gonna do. 10,000 points for this album now feeling like an old blanket for you. Now that you have accessed your angst after college.
Yeah.
9,000 points for Getting the Lead Out. Led Zeppelin being one of the bands that you have connected with closely on your 500 album listen. 600 points for referencing The Bull and all of the wonderful country radio stations in the greater St. Louis area. Add that to the 4 favors. What was it? 4 favors for favors. 3 still cries at a good film. And 4 still kisses with saliva that you gave Michael or ChatGPT more properly for their 60-second intro on Radiohead and OK Computer. This is looking like a pretty strong board to me. And you brought so much personal, the personal touch to this. We always appreciate the, the vulnerability, the stories. So much good stuff going on here. This is a strong board. So, Michael, I put it to you. It's a hard decision. You see the points on the board. You heard the case Brian made. Tell me, my friend, does OK Computer by Radiohead go to 11? Is it a perfect album?
No, it doesn't. For the first time in this one goes to 11 history, we're saying no. No, I'm not fucking saying no. Why would I fucking say no to this?
I was like, wow.
One of my favorite albums of all time. Oh my God. Like you could have come on here and just like eaten Skittles for an hour and I would have been like, sure, it sounds good to me. Like, Skittles, if you want to sponsor us, like, hey, here we are.
We'll take your Skittles money.
Yeah. Anyone know Big Skittle out there? Like,
when you guys do get your first sponsor, you have to do another Radiohead album because the irony will just be beyond incredible.
Yeah. Rich. We'll just stink of irony.
Oh my God.
I have a question for you guys. Are there any artists who, no matter what the case, will never make this one goes to 11 pantheon? Like their album can't go to 11?
That's a really good question. I almost don't want to say yes or no, but because I respect you so much, I'm going to say, for me, probably not. I think we'll go purely based on the case made and on the merits of the album. What do you say, Michael?
I mean, I think maybe if you listened to an episode from earlier this season where we talked about Kendrick, like we made some. I clarified some things about it because I respect him as an artist. That album had some problematic stuff going on in it. I don't know because Tyler and I have been talking. I'm going to put this out here on the podcast right now that there is a major album that we feel like we would like to cover on this podcast at some point that we're not sure how to cover it. And that is Michael Jackson's Thriller. Because it feels like an epic album, but in 2023, you cannot talk about a Michael Jackson album without talking about Michael Jackson's actions and accusations and things that he probably did. I mean, I know it wasn't necessarily determined, but there sure is a hell of a lot of evidence. And I mean, I think we tried to go into every episode saying, regardless of our own personal tastes and our own proclivities, that we are open to hearing people's arguments. And as long as they come forward with, like a personal connection and they put some thought into the case, I feel like we would consider just about every album or artist.
Oh yeah.
I
think that's my take, is that there would never be anything that I would dismiss out of hand just because I don't think personally that it is my taste, right? We strive for this to be journalistic, and so we want to have a little bit of that integrity there. So as long as somebody brings it with serious, like an earnestness such as you have brought to this, and I don't think anyone has thrown us an album that they're not serious about. Everybody's brought us albums that they earnestly think are perfect.
Yeah, anyone who goes on this podcast they're gonna bring an album they want to talk about and that they can talk about at length. So I feel like no one's gonna come in here and be like, I'm just gonna mess around with you guys and see what happens. Well, Ashlyn did a little bit, but but she also felt very passionately about that album, and so like even though we did give her a little bit of shit for the Third Eye Blind situation, like we can recognize that I mean that album.
She made a strong case, honestly.
And also being someone who, would drive my 1987 red Buick LeSabre when I went to go work at the Putt Putt Golf in Syracuse, New York, and Third Eye Blind was always playing on the radio. It was a big deal. So it's, we're not like, and we love Ashlyn, and she made a good case for it. So
yes,
I want to be clear about that, Ashlyn, if you're listening, that
we only bring you up all the time because we love you.
Exactly.
It's a good question, though.
Yeah. Very, very curious, because my follow-up is, who do you think would be the hardest for someone to convince you that artist has a perfect album? Like if I came on here and I was like, I got this Fat Joe album.
If you got a Fat Joe album, I would love to listen to a Fat Joe album, like front to back with some real like authorly seriousness. That would be really fun to me. I can't think of anything that I would just scoff at, really.
I'll say one thing in response to that. I think that the artist who I would come closest to thinking that about, we have actually already covered. I'm not going to say anything more than that.
You're so coy. You're so
Michael leaves more Easter eggs than Taylor Swift in this podcast.
Hey, yes.
Yeah, I have to say, Brian, this was very enjoyable to talk to you, especially because you are clearly a devout listener of the pod. I mean, some of the things you were referencing, like, I mean, my God, there are things, I mean, I remember them from the episodes, but I feel like people who are just casual listeners wouldn't pick up on some of the stuff you were picking up on. I mean, like the bread of the sandwich, like, that's
good. You're taking notes, man.
Which album did we say that about?
Oh man, I can't remember, but it stuck out with me. I told you I'm a lyrics and word guy, like concepts, stick out to me. But
it was The Cure.
It might have been The Cure that you were saying.
I think we talked about Disintegration because the whatever the first song is of that, and then Untitled at the end. That was a good sandwich.
That was a good sandwich.
Maybe, but no, I just wanted to say thank you guys for doing this and putting in all the hard work. I love the concept of an album as a whole, and I think it's like a important thing to appreciate a whole album. And you guys do this like Humans of New York mixed with music appreciation, and it's awesome. So keep on keeping on,
Oh, thank you, man. That really means a lot to me. To us.
Yeah, I like that comparison. I think that's a good. Yeah, Humans of New York meets Desert Island Discs in some ways, I think.
Yeah. I love that. Thanks, man. And we really appreciate you listening so closely and participating on social media and all that kind of stuff. It makes it fun for us. It makes it worth it for us. Because this would be fun. Michael and I would get on Zoom once a week and talk about music, even if we weren't recording it and putting it out for everyone to talk about. But this gives us a good excuse to do it. So we really appreciate that.
And it wouldn't be an episode without, we got to end with another standout track. So yeah, Tyler, you get the play out track. What are you leaving us with, and why'd you pick it?
I do. You know what we didn't talk about in this episode is whether or not you've seen Radiohead live, Brian. Have you seen them live in concert?
I have seen them live, and I have a great live story if there's a little bit of time.
Give us a little taste of a live story. Yeah.
I saw them in 2017 in Seattle, a week after the Muslim ban had been enacted.
Oh. Interesting.
And when they played No Surprises and the line, "Bring down the government, they don't speak for us," came on, they stopped for 2 minutes and just sat in silence.
Whoa.
And I get chills thinking about it still.
Yeah. That's cool. That's really, really cool. I did not know that they did that. And I'm really glad you got to experience that. Was it, how did the audience receive it?
I mean, I think everybody really felt the power of that statement and was really behind them. Like, people were reflective, but also just, even more into the concert than they were.
There's not a lot of politically conservative Radiohead fans out there. I don't think.
No.
I mean, well, you never know. They might just not be listening to the lyrics.
Sometimes silence is the most effective way of communicating something. So, man, I'm going to give them just about 10 million points. So this one goes out to you boys.
They listen. They're listening. I'm sure
they're listening. They got to listen.
Yeah.
My song that I chose is the standout from this one was "Lucky," for a couple different reasons, but mainly because both of the times that I've seen them live, this was the song that I least expected, to knock me flat, and it did both times. It's an absolutely stunning song when they do it live. The idea of, like, I'm on a roll, trying to psych yourself up, trying to say it's going to be a glorious day. There's something I can really relate to about that narrative, that those sort of lines going through your head, that kind of power of positive thinking, because I'm your superhero, all these things. So lyrically, it really connects with me. Live, it's always been a very special experience. And it was also the first song they recorded from the album. So I just thought this would be a great one to play out on. Great little bits of trivia around it, the further you dig in. So Radiohead's full of multitudes. I love this band. It's my favorite band. This is one of my favorite things to do. Brian, it's so good to see you. It's been far too long. I can't wait to see you in person at some point sometime soon.
So good to see you. So good to meet you finally, Michael.
Nice meeting you, Brian. Let's play our season out.
You're our season finale.
Man, all right. This was a good one. It was a great season.
It's been a good one. So thanks everybody for sticking with us for another season. We'll be back soon with lots of new stuff. Give us a follow on social media and do all that, and drop us a line if you feel like talking. We'd love to have you on.
So let's give Lucky a listen, and hey y'all, have a good summer. We'll see you in the fall.
Bye.
You stole my bye.